Hey dudes, what's going on? Today we are doing an update of a video I did. I was just looking it up and I literally did a video on the old version of the Borka ADT 10 years ago on this channel. So crazy how things go. But anyways, I was super excited. Borka Tools is no longer owned by Boris. ProShot owns them now. Let's talk about the torque driver real quick and how you assemble it, because you basically have two pieces. You have the crossbar, and on the crossbar each side has a scale of torque. So on one side we have from 28 to 70, and then on the other side we have 10 to 27. We'll talk about how to use each range here in a second. You also have the spindle, and the spindle consists of a few different parts as well. We loosen the spindle and you'll notice there's an arrow. That's going to be pretty important. We'll talk about that. But we have the handle, and this is a free spinning handle, so as we're using it we don't have to worry about this kind of like binding up in our hand or anything like that. And then we have the bit holder. The bit holder holds the bits very securely. They're not going to come out until you pull on this collar, and then you can take the bit out. So again, really secure mechanism. These bit holders are super nice. I've used them on a variety of things. They also have them in some of their other kits, and way back in the day I even asked Boris, I was like, hey, you need to send some of those extras. And I kind of put them in some of my favorite, bit holding screwdriver handles, and I switched over to the quick release because I love those Borka releases so much. First example I'm going to show you, we're going to look at a handgun, a rifle, and an optic. We're going to tighten these cap screws on this Trijicon optic and mount. So this particular torque value is 15 inch-pounds. So let's figure out how we're going to do that. So we have our pieces. We're going to first find where 15 is. It's not on that side, so it's going to be on this side. 15 inch-pounds. We're going to take that arrow that I talked about, and we're just going to put it right there and just kind of hold it in place. Then we are going to tighten this until it just touches the crossbar here, and you'll see that it still can slide, so you don't have to be quite perfect. Then you will want to confirm that that arrow is right, in fact, on 15 inch-pounds. Then we're just going to take this and give it a quarter turn. That's it. Quarter turn, all you need. Don't worry about it. Now, how to hold the tool is pretty important. And first, make sure you got the right size bit. I thought I staged this ahead of time. I did. So we're going to put the right size bit in there. Now, it's really important how we hold the tool. Sometimes, depending on where the spindle is on the crossbeam, it depends on where I might hold it. But I'm actually going to be applying all of the torque with my thumb on the button. This will break, indicating that I have reached torque. So that's like the clutch mechanism, if you will. And it coordinates with each side that you're using. So if I'm using this side, it's going to go this way. But if I were using that side, the button would press this way, and it's a stiffer press, if you will, because of the higher torque values. The thing is that it's not a breakover, and this is not like a T-handle, and we're not using it that way. So we want to make sure that we're holding the tool properly and using it properly, which requires us to apply our thumb on the button, and we're going to get that click when we have reached proper torque. So a couple things. Number one, make sure you're holding it properly, and I like to grab it right around the spindle, and that way as I'm tightening, this spins like I was telling you guys before. And again, I can kind of move up and down depending on where it is. The other thing that I like is that with this groove, I'm also pressing down to make sure that the fastener is fully accepting the bit. A common time that you're going to strip out things is when the tool is not fully in the screw, whether it's at an angle, whether it's not quite engaged. But I want to make sure that that bit is all the way down into the socket on the screw head. That's really, really important. So I'm actually pushing down with this as I'm going to be tightening. I have all these snug, so they should be pretty close to torque, but now I want to apply my final torque. The simplest way I can put torque is how much we are tightening something. And if we over tighten something, we could risk stripping the screw, breaking the screw, damaging it, damaging our tools. And if we under torque or we don't tighten enough, we can risk this loosening up when we're using it, and stuff goes flying off, it loses zero, it shifts, it could cause damage to things. So proper torque is super important. Check with the manufacturer of whatever accessory and look for the spec in inch-pounds. Again, this torque driver goes from 10 all the way to 70 inch-pounds. Don't confuse it with foot-pounds, you'll have a big problem. So anyway, so let's get to it. We're gonna make sure that the bit is all the way firmly inserted into the screw, and that's where I'm pushing down and I'll position it like this so you guys can see that. But I'm making sure that it's fully in the socket of the screw, and then I'm applying my thumb right on the button. I'm not doing any tightening with this part of my hand. I'm really just allowing that to rotate around this axis, and I'm tightening with my thumb on the button. And when I hit 15 inch-pounds, it's going to click over just like that, indicating that I have reached torque for that. So I'm just going to alternate. There's 15, I'll reset. That one was pretty close. And that's it. So now I've tightened each of these screws to 15 inch-pounds. Very simply, very easily, and always reset the button to make sure it's in that center position. So that's how you could use it on a scope mount.